What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Can you hear me? Yes, the mic is on. Okay, good. All good things. Let's get into this, all right? Here we are at about $109.1 thousand with 10 hours and 50 minutes left in this day, the second day of September. September's underway, you guys, and wake me up when September ends. Probably not completely appropriate. I think when September ends, even going into the second half, it's gonna be very bullish, but the first half's gonna be a little bit bearish, right? When I say a little bearish, I mean what we're accustomed to over the past week, not the week before. That was a little faster. This is a little bit more of a meander on the way down, right? And that's what we're doing here. The high that we had was $110.7 thousand, right above the area, or was it right below? I can't remember. Was I saying that we'd go to 110K or 111K at least before moving lower? I forget. If it was 111K, we're off by like $300. If it was 110K at least, then hey, we did that at least. Let's see, high to low. I probably would have said 111K. So the fact that we didn't reach that is just extra bearish. I mean, with the day the way that it looks right now, I think it's obvious that it is bearish. Let's look at the liquidation levels, okay, over the past day. The longs are still piled on at a pretty good rate, you guys. I mean, the shorts outweigh the longs, but the longs are still piled on. $2 billion, and we're at the lows, and we're probably going to move lower, man. We're feeding the fire there. Again, looking at these liquidation levels over the past 30 days, there's a bit of an island of longs here that gets cleared out once we cross about 106K, but all of it once we're at like below $104,000. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's what we saw, prices below $104,000, or at the very least something around 106K or lower. With the 1414, this line right here, it's very common to wick below it and then come back up and close above it. So if we were to go to 106K and bounce there, that really could happen. But with this kind of reaction, with the amount of grinding that we've done over the past few days, I would assume that we go down to the 1618, which is all the way down at about $104.8 thousand on the Binance chart. On the all-time history, or on the Coinbase chart, I believe that would be 105,000. But tomato, whatever. Bitcoin likes to wick a little through its golden ratio too. So if we go below 104K, I'm not freaking out. I think that that's fine. There's a case to be made that we could go all the way down right to 100K and still be fine. So, but again, I don't think this is going to be a quick drop, right? We're not anticipating that it'll be like this. We're anticipating that it'll be like this, right? Coming down at this pace here. You'll probably get down to this area sometime next week, right? So this week we're going to meander a little bit. I mean, we're probably going to move down more, but then once we find a lower low, then we'll move up more, and then we'll find a lower low, and then we'll move up more, and then we'll finally find our low going into that week between the 11th and the 17th there, somewhere in that, like within a week before the FOMC meeting, I think we'll be at the lows. We could continue to drop into the FOMC meeting, and if that happens, the FOMC meeting is on, the 17th on Wednesday. So we could continue to drop into that, and if we do, I think that would just obviously promote lower prices, but it's very possible that we find the low a week before or sometime before, and then we just kind of move sideways and hang out in this range, and then we break out afterwards, right? That's the expectation. I think that Bitcoin is going to take off to the upside by the end of this month. We really could be at new all-time highs by the end of September, if not certainly back above, prices that are like well above 110K, 115K. But for the time being, I think we have a little bit of downside to go. Looking at the 1 hour time frame. And then also, somebody was asking about the 70K target that we were talking about the other day, and why I'm not talking about that. They're like, you made a whole video, why aren't you The reason why I'm not talking about it is because I don't actually believe it's going to happen. The whole reason I brought it up is because there is bearish divergence, high, lower high here, right? And in which case, it would be very sensible to go back to where that divergence started, $71,000. You even go through it, so 70K would be a very possible outcome. But we rationalize why I don't think we're going to go down there, as this move here was the bearish divergence of this move here. So in that case, we really only have bearish divergence between these two highs to resolve, and that gets resolved once we get to about $102,000. So very possible, and maybe just like we did here, how we went just above this high. It's not typical to do that, but it happens. It's good enough. maybe we do the same thing here where we stop just above that high. It happens enough, especially in bullish environments. And overall, I think we are in a bullish environment with this RSI. But the bearish divergence on the stochastics and the MACD and the RSI all suggest here more so than here. The RSI is the only one that suggests here. So if we do go down there, somebody else was saying that that's the end of the bull market. I don't know if it's the end, man. I don't know if it'd be the end. You know, if we saw a drop like that in the midst of this bull market, people would start to call it the end, and I bet we'd come back up. It would prolong the bull market a lot, and it would definitely mean that we're not seeing new all-time highs until the end. We probably don't get to 200K by the end of the year. You know, typically with these kind of drops, they take time. You don't just drop in like 1 month down there, 2 months. Like if we were to drop, it'd be most of the remaining months of this year we'd move down, and we'd probably be well aware of that possibility well before that happens, right? If we're seeing prices below 100K, I mean, that really starts to become part of the discussion, but and prolonged below 100K. If we wick below there in a flash crash, it's not the same. But if we close like a week or a month below there, then that's pretty incriminating that we will go lower. But I'm not thinking that's going to happen, right? I'm only addressing it here again because somebody was asking about it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I hope it's clear as to why. I mean, there's a bunch of other reasons why I don't think it's going to happen too. You know, we got $18 billion in shorts to pile through. These guys are all going to be right, and then the minority is going to be wrong. That just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? That really doesn't happen at all. We got to clear out these longs first, though, I think. And then once they're completely decimated, that's whenever we'll start to move up. Oops. If we're looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, I think I got a little sniffles, guys. I think I'm coming down with something. I got a little congestion. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here, I don't know if you can hear it. I feel like I can hear it. 1 hour time frame, very neutral, very volatile, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold. So not inherently bearish, but you know, I don't like the way that this looks to me. We've dropped pretty intense the last couple times, and it has brought, you know, pumps afterwards, and kind of looks like that's what we're doing here. So maybe that's what we'll do, but you know, time will tell. It's kind of an odd bottoming area here, but I'm not, you know, I'm not opposed to seeing slightly higher prices. If we're looking at these indicators, the stochastics did bounce off the oversold zone. The MACD is in a nice trend, but it did just cross bearish. I don't know. You crossed bearish a couple other times, and it didn't merit much. So I don't know. Your indicators look good enough. As long as this candle closes green. If it closes red, if we come down and close red, especially if we take out $108,000 on a 1 hour closing basis, if we take that price out, I would say we're probably going lower rather immediately, and that's okay. But maybe we go up just a little bit more. Maybe this shakes out a little bit, right? Up, down, super volatile, up, down, and then up, and then down, and then for real down, right? I don't know. We kind of did that here too, didn't we? A little up, a little down, a little up, down, up, and then big down. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. Looking at the 4 hour time frame, the RSI is at the same area that we like to find resistance. 2 hours 42 minutes left in the time frame here. Looking at this, I would presume that we close to the downside. Stochastics coming out of the overbought zone, I would presume we close to the downside. MACD overall bearish, even though we're building bullish momentum here. I would presume that we close to the downside, right? Because here in this area, you rejected, you came down. Here in this area, you rejected, you came down. Here in this area, you rejected. We just haven't come down yet. So if we do go higher, again, 111K would be kind of my, or maybe even 112K would be my highest expectation, but I don't think we get much past that. Inevitably, I think, you know, between today and tomorrow and the next day, we will see lower prices, okay? After that, we'll probably come back up, but going into the middle of this month again, going into the 17th, 16th of this month, we should be at or around our lows, wherever they might be, and then going into the end of this month, we should be ripping and running back up. Are we going to be at new all-time highs by the end of the month? I think we have a chance of doing that, but I'm not holding my breath over that. Going into October, I certainly think we'll see new all-time highs. I think we'll see a move that's just like this, end of month to like end of October. The second half of September to the end of October, we'll see a move just like this or just like this. It's going to be fantastic. And we should, I think, close October at least at 150 to 160K. The ultimate destination's at 180K. So how long does it take for us to get to 180K? I mean, it could take end of October. It could be sometime in November. I don't know. But I very much believe we're going to see a lot of the brunt of this move happen in October. But it kicks off after that FOMC meeting. Hit the like button. subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to get some water. Take care. Bye bye.